Tonight, everybody, one more time, I'm here to present the best TV documentary program of all the times. So don't even try to change the channel, because tonight we are going to talk about a serious disease that's affecting Brazilians more than we think. Search for beauty. Let's say welcome to our guest, Dr. Drauzio Varela. Come here, doctor. How are you? Take a seat, please.
Thanks. Good night, everybody. It's a pleasure to be joining here in this documentary talking to my people.
So what we are going to talk about, Doc?
Well, we're going to talk about anorexia. And it's very important because a lot of people think that's happening only with models. But this disease is affecting a large amount of the population. Not surprisingly, the teenagers most of the time.
The teenagers? Explain to us why, Doc.
Yes, teens, and that's because they are still growing up and don't have a strong mind yet, which makes them easily influenced. And also because they gives a huge importance to what they see on TV or magazines.
But models and actors are really teeny and don't die because of it, right?
I can't deny that they are skinny, but it's because their genes made them that way, and people need to realize that if their genes are like the ones models have, there is once no point in stop eating because you will only become sick and ugly.
Well, after doctor's answer, we will watch some case of this disease. Thanks.
Well, I was a 13 years old boy when this started. I always looked to my dad and thought that I didn't want to be like him because he was really fat.
Yeah, I was really fat since I was a kid, and that's because I always liked fast foods. I was almost like an American man because I just ate burgers and fries, milkshakes, candies, and everything that is not healthy at all. I was not a good model to my son.
And because I saw him get fatter and fatter each time, I thought it would happen to me too. And I would get no girls, and I wasn't in shape like the guys who know underwear advertisement. So I slowly stopped to eat. First I stopped having dinner, and in a few weeks my weight was lower, and then I decided to run away from lunch time as well. Then there was no more breakfast in my diet. And when I realized I had no more energy even to think, I was just skin and bones and collapsing all the time.
On then did me and my wife realized how things were not okay, and we looked for help. And now his health and okay.
My story is a shame for me, but it's really nice to tell it in a documentary like this because it can help the others who are now in the place I was. When I was starting to date girls, or at least trying to, I was overweight, and in a tropical country like ours, men are always walking with their t-shirts off and showing their muscles, but I couldn't do that because my stomach was huge and people laugh about me every time. I went to the beach with my swimming clothes, and I wanted to cry every time. One day I was in a barbecue and I was eating really much, when a friend of mine started to call me like elephant. I became so frustrated, and in that moment that I threw up, and when I was in the bathroom putting all the food out of my body, I thought that was my chance to lose weight, because I could eat whatever I want and then throw up and I would never get fat. So I kept doing that for a while, and my weight loss was notorious. But my mom, who was watching Pages of Life, saw in the soap opera my problem and started to pay attention on my activities. When she saw me throwing up, she looked me to the doctor at the same time and started me a treatment. Now I'm getting better, but I still need some time in a clinic to make sure I will not fall into that again.
Yes, people, it's a surprise because most of people see the American way of life and think it's what's happened here in Brazil too. But we need to pay more attention on diets and body jobs because our culture is a bit different than the American ones.
I am a doctor that worked with plastic for a long time, and in the last decades, the number of people who came to my office wanting to do it has shrunk in many cases. They don't have a serious problem like someone who had liver cancer and needed to do it. Most of the time they are just women who wants to fit better in their bikinis and want a quick and easy way to do it. Most of the time they think it's better to do a surgery than to spend the hours on the gym doing workouts and keeping an eye on their eating habits. But it's a surgery like all the others, and the patients must know about the risks they are taking. Another problem is that there are many fake doctors that had not studied medicine or finished their courses. And they are on the street selling surgery that can be paid in many times, and the result is never good as long as those people don't know what they are doing, and the patient ends up being uglier than he has in the beginning. And a curiosity about this subject is that Americans also look for body jobs, except for the fact they search more for implants, while our people look more for liposuction.
Hello, I'm Jiboia, and I always wanted to have flat stomachs like the ones that models have. But this dream was a far way of my reality because I've been fat since I born. First, I tried to go into diets, but it hadn't worked for me cause in the second or third day, I was already running to the closest McDonald's and buying 3 or 4 hamburgers. After some time, I tried the gym workouts and also had a personal trainer for my own. But it was too boring and too demanding to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be able to go to work at the time I needed. One day I saw an advertising of plastic surgery, and it was really cheap because the leaflet said they were in a promotion and I could have the body of my dreams for a small amount of money. Okay, how could I wish something better? In a few days I was already doing this surgery, and the place was not very clean or anything like a real clinic. But at the time I didn't care. Well, I'm lucky to be here telling you this, because they made everything wrong, and when I woke up I was still with my belly open and I could see blood everywhere. The doctor almost died when he saw me awake and trying to make me sleep again with some pills. But I was so nervous that I called an ambulance and I was took straight ahead to the hospital where they finished the body's job correctly. So please keep in your mind that having a good life is much more than just be beautiful, and don't do it in somewhere that's not trustful. Don't do what I
To
did.
conclude with, I just need to remember that all of the facts showed in this program was real stories about problems. Don't die for beauty. Thank you for all and see you next week.
Well. Ah, Cristiano.
Ah, Christian, pô.
Olha isso.
Pode, não pode, vai. I'm Jiboia. No.
And I am a doctor that works with plastic for a long time and
And in a tropical country like ours, men are
Would happen to me too, and I would get no girls if I was the shape like this. Oh, peraí.
Affecting a large amount of the population. Nossa, você tá gravando isso? Ah, vai se foder, então.
The chase is better than the catch. Transforming the